Rewarding.
Good.
Yes.
Why?
Rewarding.
And you did also great as a royal. So how was it for you playing this kind of royal, this Vice King of India?
Well, he was a man full of contradictions. From the more I read up about him, and I talked to his daughter, who is Lady Pamela in the movie. He was a man who greatly enjoyed what he looked like, and took great pride in his appearance and in the workings of the establishment and the etiquette and everything else. So that was quite fun to explore. But what I found more profoundly interesting was this was a man who was not a diplomat by nature. He was a man of action. He was a military man, and had been accused sometimes in the past of being too rash, too hasty in his decision making. But what he did possess was a great skill with people, in being able to make people feel included, to feel valued when it mattered to him. And what mattered to him was this challenge of giving India back to its own people after 300 years of British influence. And he'd not wanted to do the job. He said, he'd said to the King of England, I'm not qualified for this. I'm not the man to do this. What if I fail? And he was not a man who liked failure. And the King said to him, but what if you succeed? And that, because he was vain enough as a man and proud enough, he thought, well, I could rise to that challenge, and I could be the great gold tick against my name. Now, the history then goes on to relate it, perhaps a different story with a qualified tick. Some would say a cross against his name. I think this film tries to be fair to all parties. But to play him was a great opportunity to visit a man, learn a bit more about a man who was full of contradictions but tried to do the right thing.
And did you have maybe some funny memories from the set for us? Some things that we don't see on screen?
I think, well, Manish had to have his goldfish nearby at all times. He liked to have his little fish in a bowl, even in the heat, so we had to keep cooling the water to the right temperature. But that was his little talisman, his little thing, Manish Dayal and his fish. So that was an important aspect for him. Mainly the heat, how to cope with the heat, that was the biggest challenge. And when you're wearing thick costumes like that, I have many photographs of myself and Gillian just standing next to air conditioning units in our vests and just stripping off and then having to put everything on and go and do scenes. So there was it was challenging, and I look back on the real people who lived through these times wearing thick suits, and I think, why on earth didn't you just wear t-shirts? But that wasn't the style back then. No, it was a wonderful shoot to be part of. I think the strangest thing was we were shooting in the Umaid Bhavan Hotel in Jodhpur, which is the Maharaja's palace in Jodhpur, but it is a working hotel, and we were doing a scene on the steps outside the government house, with these 50 steps all leading up to the hotel. With 200 extras all standing around like that, all ready to do some ceremonial scene. And of course, guests from the hotel wanted to go to the swimming pool, which was down there. So they'd come through in their toweling robes, and we'd all have to stop while they went down the steps, across the gardens to the swimming pool. Then we could say, and action, turn over, and So that was quite surreal, trying to do these big scenes with people coming through in toweling robes, and they were thinking, why are these bloody actors in our way?
That's a great story. Did you can stay serious when you are in this kind of character? And then you're seeing some hotel guests walking there with their towels.
That's just it's just part of life. Yeah, it's strange.
That's a great story. Do you have more for us?
God, I can't think of that. Apart from the jets that went over every 5 minutes from the airbase, I can't think of any particularly funny ones. But every day is a peculiar thing when making a film.
Great, thank you so much.